你看他穿的为什么？厉害！对呀、
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome aboard the Miss Kim Simpson. My name is Elena. I'll be your first mate and tour guide for the next hour. But more importantly, who you're probably concerned with, the person driving our boat. Off on my right, we have the incredibly talented Captain Hannah. Let's give her a warm welcome. Both Hannah and myself are fully licensed captains through Transport Canada. We're trained in marine emergency duties, first aid, and CPR, so you guys are in extremely safe hands. I do just have to let you know about the safety features on our boat. Off at the very back, you can find life jackets and life rings. On top of the boat, we have a fully inflatable life raft. We've never had to deploy any of those safety features in the history of our company. We don't really plan on starting today. Now that we have all of that out of the way, we can start the tour itself. So we have pulled out of our slip, made a turn. We're now heading westbound along the harbor front. So if you look off on your right at the harbor front, you can see it's a very lovely part of our city, very built up and modern, probably the nicest part of the city itself. Now, it did used to always look this way. So pre-1970s, Toronto was an extremely industrialized city. This entire harbor front would have been filled with factories and warehouses. Then in the 1960s, we did decide to go through a revitalization period. So we kicked out all the factories that were polluting the harbor front, sent them to smaller towns such as Hamilton. So that is where a majority of our industry does lie today. We do still have a few old industrial relics left on the harbor front. The first one I can point out to you off on your right, this red brick building called the power plant. This did used to in fact function as a power plant. It was a coal burning facility up until 1982. It's a little hard to see right now, the lettering has worn off, but on the smokestack of the power plant it does read more than enough. That was a statement against the pollution that was going on down here. The power plant now, however, does house a modern art museum. It's open 6 days out of the week, so open from Tuesday till Sunday, closed Mondays. And it is free admission to get inside of the power plant. So if you're looking for something to do later today, definitely check that out. Just beside it, you can see this white and black building called the Harborfront Center, another industrial relic. This used to be a truck and car repair garage. It now is another art gallery we have down here. At the Harborfront Center, you can actually go inside and watch the artists create their pieces in real time. You can even place a bid on a piece if you like it enough, possibly take it home with you. You can also see we're passing by Harborfront Center Stage, home to a lot of different events throughout the summer. Every Wednesday night in the summer, they host a free movie night down here. They have dancing lessons on Thursday nights and yoga lessons Friday mornings. Really something for everyone. And the Harborfront Center is a non-for-profit organization, so any event that takes place down here will be free admission. Still looking off on our right, just behind that small collection of boats, you can see this white footbridge. That is the Amsterdam Bridge. It was a gift to us from the Dutch royal family following World War II. So they were exiled from their home. We let them stay here, so as a thank you, they did gift us that bridge. We are actually in an Amsterdam Canal style boat right now, so we would fit quite nicely just right underneath there. Just beside it, you can see the Amsterdam Brew House. Absolutely no relation to the Dutch royal family or the city of Amsterdam. This is a local microbrewery here in Toronto, so you can go inside and take a tour of the facility if that interests any of you. They have 13 beers on tap. Every season, they introduce 4 new beers to the menu. For the past 3 summers in a row, they were voted the best restaurant down here on the harbor front. They can seat over 400 people on their patios alone. So if you're looking for somewhere to grab a great lunch, definitely check out the brew house. It's also the safest place on the harbor front to grab a drink, as you are right next door to the police station. That green roof building off on your right is the Metro Marine Police Station down here on the harbor front. So you might have been able to tell we don't have a Coast Guard out here on our harbor. That is because Canada has the longest discontinuous coastline, so our Coast Guards are stretched fairly thin. The closest one to us can be found in Prescott, Ontario. It's about 3 hours east of here. So all of our police are trained on little speedboats in marine emergency duties, and they boast a response time of just under 2 minutes to anywhere out in the harbor or over in the islands. You can also see the CN Tower coming into view just now, but I won't talk about it just yet on the tour. On the second half, when we come back across the harbor, we get a much better skyline view. You won't have to crane your neck so much to see the building. I will, however, talk about the building just to the left, the Rogers Centre. So the Rogers Centre actually used to be called the Sky Dome, much more beloved name to us Torontonians, and a much more fitting name for the building. So the roof on the Rogers Centre, that white area, is fully retractable. It's split into 4 panels, and in just under 20 minutes it can fully retract. It will open up completely to the sky. The roof is usually open for baseball games, as the Rogers Centre is home to our only Major League Baseball team here in Canada, the Toronto Blue Jays. Based on that reaction, none of you are Blue Jays fans. No need to worry if baseball doesn't really interest you all that much. The Rogers Centre does also host quite a few public speaking engagements as well as concerts. The Dalai Lama has spoken here, the Queen of England, former US presidents, as well as popes. AC/DC has played the stadium, Metallica, U2, the Rolling Stones, Beyonce, One Direction, you really name it. If you can sell out about 40,000 seats, they will let you play this stadium. So for baseball games, we can seat 50,000 people inside of the Rogers Centre, but for a speaking engagement or concert, we'll put seating on the playing field, and then the capacity goes up to 70,000. Our largest attended event down here did pull out a crowd of 68,000 people. They all packed inside of the Rogers Centre to watch WrestleMania 18, Hulk Hogan versus Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And I do wish I could tell you that was a fluke, but our second largest attended event was WrestleMania 6. Now I can tell you, the third largest attended event, it did break the wrestling streak. I don't know, however, if it broke the embarrassing streak. It was a Justin Bieber concert. Not the most impressive track record down here. So our captain is now just making a turn. We're going to start heading south over to the Toronto Islands. As you make this turn off on the left side of our boat, we're offered a really nice alternative view to the city skyline. We get a bit of a different perspective from over here. So at any point throughout the tour, you are all more than welcome to move around and take photos. You can use either one of these hatches to take pictures. I do just ask if you're using a hatch to take a photo, please don't go up on the steps. And if you use this front hatch, do just be mindful of your captain. There's quite a few of us on board today. Street or Union Station. That is where the water line used to stretch back to. So Front Street was actually called Waterfront Street. Then in the 1920s and throughout the 1930s, we slowly began to fill in the harbor to expand out the land. We had kind of quite a bit of industry coming down here to Toronto, not really anywhere to put it. And there was also quite a big difference between the water line and land level. It was about a 7-foot drop between the two. It wasn't really all that safe for any boats or people working in the area. Toronto never really intended to be quite the industrial port city, but we do rely on it quite heavily. If anyone's familiar with the area around the harborfront, or just Toronto in general, you'll know there's a lot of streetcars that run in and throughout, but 40% of our streetcar system was delivered by boat. Around 50% of our subway system was also delivered by boat. So despite not wanting to be an industrial port city, we do rely on it quite heavily even today. I did, however, mention that we were heading south over to the Toronto Islands, so I will point out to you off on your right, you can see the first of 15 islands out here in Toronto. This is Airport Island. It is home to Billy Bishop International City Centre Airport.